You know, the Eagles released many singles through the years, but not too often they would release a cover. Now, technically, this is a cover song by somebody who joined the band after he did the song for the Warriors soundtrack. Now, it's called In the City. Now, this Joe Walsh song is a rock song written by Barry DeVorzen and Joe Walsh. It was first recorded by Walsh and released on the soundtrack for the action thriller film The Warriors. Another version of the song, recorded by the Eagles with Walsh as lead vocals and guitars, was included on their sixth studio album, The Long Run, and released the same year. The track was first recorded by guitarist Joe Walsh for the soundtrack to the film The Warriors. The other members of the Eagles liked what they heard, and the band decided to record it for the studio album The Long Run. Now, this is one of the last songs from the album to be released. Didn't really do that much in the charts, but a well-respected song. Now, in the Eagles version, Walsh continued as lead vocalist and guitarist. A music video made for the track features a stage recording session. Joe Walsh plays a Gibson double neck guitar using the 12-string neck for the rhythm parts and the 6-string neck for the slide guitar parts. Timothy B. Schmidt plays a Fender bass. Don Felder plays a Fender Stratocaster. Don Henley uses an 8-piece Ludwig drum kit with pasty cymbals. Glenn Frey plays piano and Joe Vitale plays congos. Although not released as a single, the track became an album-oriented rock radio favorite in the U.S. and a Walsh concert staple. It's also featured on the Eagles' second live album, Hell Freezes Over, and video. In this version, the song ends with a slower version of guitar hook from the Beatles' 65 song, Day Tripper. Now, for those 10 people out there that don't know what the Warriors are, it's a kind of a, not say a futuristic gang movie, but a series of gangs in a major metropolitan city in the States are joined together to have them take over, and the leader of all the gangs gets shot by a competing gang. Now, this song is right at the end where all the denouement of the movie is already passed. Now, Joe Walsh wrote the song with the end of the movie in view. He said that many times. The lyrics are quite interesting. Somewhere out in that horizon, out beyond the neon lights, I know there must be something better, but there's nowhere else in sight. It's survival in the city, where you live from day to day. City streets don't have much pity. When you're down, that's where you'll stay. In the city. Ooh, in the city. I was born here in the city with my back against the wall. Nothing grows and life ain't very pretty. No one's there to catch you when you fall. Somewhere out on the horizon, far away from the neon sky, I know there must be something better, and I can't stay another night. In the city. In the city. In the city. Ooh. So a very simple song. Now, the song itself really fits the end of the Warriors, not to give away the whole movie, but it's kind of a look at sort of like the possible future where gangs are running over a major city. Now, the album features music by Barry DeVorzen, Joe Walsh, Arnold McCuller, and others. Many of the tracks are also included in the Warriors video game from 2005. The UK version includes Night Run by the Marx Brothers, but this was not included on later DVD releases, as the movie company did not renew the license. Now, this came out on A&M Records, not too bad. Includes a theme from the Warriors by Barry DeVorzen, who wrote and performed it. Nowhere to Run, Holland Dozier Holland, of course, Arnold McCuller. In Havana, sung by Kenny Vance and Ismael Miranda. Echoes in My Mind by Mondril. The Fight by Barry DeVorzen. In the City by Joe Walsh and Barry DeVorzen, sang by Joe Walsh. Love is a Fire by John Festino and Vinnie Poncia by Jenya Raven. Baseball, Fury's Chase, Barry DeVorzen by Barry DeVorzen. You're Moving Too Slow by Johnny Vastano, and an early single by Desmond Child called Last of the Ancient Breed. Now, it went top 50 in Australia and top 125 in the U.S. Now, there was a bunch of session players on the albums. I mean, on the soundtrack with Barry as arranger and synthesizer. Now, Ross Kunkel also performed on drums, always well liked together, as we say. But there was a lot of people played on it, and Joe Walsh was also an arranger and guitars as part of the album. Now, the original cover of the Warriors shows the maximum what do you call presentation of the gang members. But to me, like I said, this is not what you call an Eagle song. It's straightly straight Joe Walsh. Now, their A&M basically didn't do much promotion of the album. Now, the In the City version by Joe Walsh was on A&M 354, but the Eagles version is at 346, again off Asylum, with Bill Simkovich as producer, but Dvorak and Joe Walsh did the version. So there is a slight difference as well in regards to both songs. One is basically shorter, and again the Joe Walsh version is more lean, more more muscular. But if anybody remembers the Long Run album, having the Warriors song on there kind of gave credence that majority of the Eagles were looking for the best song, like Timothy B. Schmidt. He was getting a big part of the Eagles as a move over from Poco. Now the Long Run, we talked about that in the previous podcast. This was an album track that did quite well. Now, what is kind of weird, the first three songs of the first side, The Long Run, I Can't Tell You Why in the City, would often be played back to back to back on album-orientated FM back in the day. Because side 2 had Heartache Tonight. But cut number 4, The Disco Strangler and King of Hollywood, again. But we called that back in the day, it's almost a 13, 14-minute suite. The Long Run, I Can't Tell You Why in the City. So you're going from self-introspecting to romance to basically a story song. And In the City could have easily... I'm wondering if Bruce Springsteen or any other, big rock artists covered that back in the day. Because Joe Walsh was very underrated as an artist because he could write, he could play, but it was a good fit for the Eagles. Now, a little bit of history with Joe Walsh and the Eagles for the 4 people out there that probably don't know about it. Joe Walsh was not what you call your common person for for the Eagles. Now, before he joined the Eagles, he was basically in a band called the Measles, then the James Gang. Okay, and he was in Barnstorm for a few years and joined the Eagles in 1975 to 1980. He was invited to join them as founding member Bertie Leedon's replacement. There was some concern as to Walsh's ability to fit in with the band, as you considered it far too wild for the Eagles, especially for the drummer and co-lead vocalist Don Henley. And of course, Hotel California and Life in the Fast Lane is based on a riff from Walsh. By the time The Long Run came out, he was an established member of the band. So it was like a super group. The Eagles started off, Henley and Fry, but it became a super group because you had Poco, you had Joe Walsh. It was amazing. It was a great time for music for the Eagles. So In the City, probably one of the most underrated Eagle song of all time, even though it's not an Eagle song. If you like what we're doing here with our tribute to music soundtracks on Behind the Tracks, let us know in a like, comment, subscribe, or share.